step back and think about humans in the wild, it's very rare that you would be feeling that level of fear and shame without good reason, like running away from saber-toothed tigers or whatever. So your brain says, all right, I'm feeling ashamed a lot. There must be a reason why, and it will find a way to justify the very emotions that are being used against you by pernicious algorithmic cycles. And those justifications are not trivial, right? They're like fundamental shifts in worldviews, fundamental shifts in sense of identity. Reversing those justifications and changes is very difficult. Even if you can, and you can change somebody's mind at a factual level, that initial emotional residue tends to stick around. That will be the thing that informs somebody's behaviour, like which causes you advocate for, who you vote for. Like that will have much more of a bearing than all of the logical stuff.
That is so true, Abridge. I want to put that out there for myself. I came from Central America. And I think I explained this in my book as well. And let me put a plug for my book. I think I explained that in my book, Tribulations of an Afro-Latino Caribbean Man. And here's the book, Tribulations of an Afro-Latino Caribbean Man. You can check it out at just go to politicsandright.com/books to get a hard copy, or become a paid subscriber of our newsletter, and you'll get it that way. But let me explain this. And I'm going to go into this because I think it's important, and for both our MAGA and otherwise to hear it. I'm from Panama, Central America. I'm Black, Latino, Caribbean. All right. And it turns out that that's like a 3-strike thing when it comes to homosexuality, gay, etc. Our culture is really to get away from gays. They're an abomination. They're all these kinds of things, right? It's stupid. It's backward. It's shameful. But that's the culture that I grew up under. And I came over here and changed, right? It didn't take much it was just a trip to China where one of my partners changed my intellectual behavior with one sentence. But after that, if I hugged a gay guy specifically, not a gay woman, it just shows you that the sexism and homophobia kind of tied in with our culture, right? I didn't have a problem hugging a gay woman or anything like that, but a gay man, I couldn't do it, or I couldn't look at a gay man and say, I love you, man. You say I can tell all my peeps I love you, etc. Even after making that intellectual change, I was an avid fighter, activist in the gay movement. But I still didn't necessarily want anybody to see me in isolated situations with a gay guy. Or I couldn't hug a gay person or anything like that, because I would actually have a physical reaction and apprehension towards that. And I kept on working on that. I'll force hug. I would force all these things. And by the way, I did the same thing with having women as leaders and accepting women as leaders. Not accepting because women are leaders, but realizing that it's my problem that I couldn't think of those things. And I knew I overcame my prejudices, both in being a sexist and also being a homophobe, when it didn't matter if it was a gay man, gay woman, straight woman, cis, whatever. It didn't matter. I can look and say, I love you. I can hug you. I can do all of that without it messing with my masculinity, without having a second thought, without anything. At that point, I knew I was completely cured as far as knowing that all these are beings like I am. No different, no better, no worse, no nothing. It took effort. The factual, as the woman said in the video, the factual was not enough. You actually have to work towards it. And I say that for those people who, even in this chat right now, are naturally predisposed to be prejudiced or racist or whatever. Because there are some of you in here are that. It is okay to intellectually say, well, I know I shouldn't not like somebody for X, Y, Z. But you have to make that concerted effort to engage. You have to make that concerted effort to change not just your mind, but your physical reaction to that which you were prejudiced against. And only then can you overcome it all. And those are the kinds of things that we have to teach folks. You know, you have a lot of progressives that they are intellectually progressive, and they're intellectually not racist, and they're intellectually not sexist, and they're intellectually not homophobic. But still, enough couldn't vote for Hillary for president. And they could find every excuse to place on top of Hillary, but yet Trump could be president with all the flaws that he comes with. And it's important. That little piece that Brie just brought for us to watch is a very important piece of information. And the extrapolation that I just gave, those of you who have your isms, prejudices, if you want to really get over them, it has to be intentional. It can't be just saying, I'm not racist. It can't be just saying, I'm not sexist. I can guarantee you just about 90% of the guys in this chat right now and listening to this video are probably sexist. I can guarantee you a large number of you in here, including progressives, are homophobes, if not intellectually, emotionally. And until we work on that, somebody can't fix that for you. It is something you have to want to fix for yourself. It is something you have to walk into and say, I will be a better person. And that goes also in this election. In this election, it's hard. Many of you out here that try to find all kinds of reasons to vote for the criminal, to vote for that guy who has committed so many crimes, that guy who has violated women's, that guy who has stiffed the middle class, but you're sticking with him and you're making an excuse why you stick with him. I'll tell you something. You're only fooling yourself. I was only fooling myself until I could come out and say, I really believe in true equality. I really believe in true humanity. And until you get there, you're fooling nobody but yourself. Now it's interesting because I tell you one thing that comes with this way of being. This way of being allows you to tell people whatever the hell you want to tell them, because deep within, none of it is coming from a position of prejudice or hate or any of that. So I don't mind calling out the racists in my chat. Hey, bro, love you, but you're still a racist. Hey, bro, I love you, but you're still a sexist. Hey, I can do all of that. But I tell you even better, the freedom that one gets when one can look at the individual humanity of every single person you interact with. And not, I see color, I see race, I see gender, I see sexual orientation. I see them. But the interesting thing about it is the freedom you get from being able to see these things and not have a gut reaction other than, I'm sitting here with my gay friend, I'm sitting here with my fat friend, I'm sitting here with my skinny friend, I'm sitting here with my red-headed friend, I'm sitting here with my Afro friend, and it's just that, a descriptor. The freedom that comes with that, let me tell you something, you would not imagine what it feels like. All right, enough of my rant.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.